Despite the Earth being scientifically accepted as a big round object, there are still many people who believe that maybe this entire time that wasn't the case. There are people who believe that for centuries men have been ignorant of what the truth is. Today we're going to talk about a global controversy. Is the Earth round or is the Earth flat? Now we're going to talk about what one side believes compared to the other. To start off with, the Earth's shape. Now the Earth is round, as most people believe. Most people believe that it is a round object that rotates on its own once a day and rotates around the sun once a year. Now what some people, and a growing number of people, believe is that the Earth doesn't do any rotation, doesn't do any of that. Some people believe that it is rather flat than it is round. These types of people are known as flat earthers. Now, another question to ask is, what do these flat earthers believe in? What do they believe about their two-dimensional dimension? Well, let's start off with, flat earthers believe in an Earth that is in the shape of a disc. They believe that Antarctica is the outer wall instead of being on the very bottom of their model, while the North Pole is in the very middle. They also believe that there's no gravity on the flat Earth, but rather there is an infinite upward motion of their Earth that's going upward throughout space. They have that instead of gravity. And also, flat earthers believe in the geocentric theory, which basically means that the Earth is the center of space. Instead of the sun being the center of the solar system and having all the planets rotate around it, geocentric theory means that the Earth is being rotated around by the sun. And you can see on this line the pattern at which the sun is rotating around. Perhaps the reason that flat earthers believe what they believe is mostly because they don't really trust NASA. What they've been known to believe is that NASA has had a conspiracy known as the space travel conspiracy. What this conspiracy is that NASA wanted to be a military unit because President Eisenhower, at the time, President Lyndon B. Johnson, who was president at the time, said that if we can be dominant in outer space, we can be dominant across the entire world. So, all that information, according to the Flat Earth Society, NASA decided to make themselves look productive, make it look like they're capable of actually making military warfare in space. They allegedly faked the moon landing, they allegedly faked the Earth being a round figure, and they allegedly faked a bunch of other space discoveries. And that is why flat earthers believe that the Earth is indeed flat. And that is why they don't have any trust for NASA, because they have staged different events to make it look like they were productive when they weren't. So now, with all this said, can this really prove that the Earth is truly flat? Nope! It doesn't take rockets to understand that the Earth is more than likely round. This is such basic science that even the ancient Greeks had an idea that the Earth may have been round. The ancient Greeks once did this one experiment where they had one person dig a very long stick into the ground. And then they had another person who was 500 miles away dig another stick into the ground. And then the two of them observed the shadows. One of them, since it was right below the sun, did not have a shadow sticking out. The other one, which was 500 miles from the other one, did have a shadow, and it was coming out at an angle. With this said, the sun is pointing at different positions of the Earth, and therefore the Earth is round, because it would not have done that with a flat Earth model. And also, if the Earth were truly flat, and the sun were constantly rotating around it, since the sun is so much bigger than the Earth, it would just be sunlight all day if the sun was constantly shining on that one flat part of Earth. Furthermore, we can conclude that maybe the Earth is flat because of the way pilots fly planes. If you were to take a flight from Vancouver to Paris, you wouldn't just fly a straight line to Paris from Vancouver. Instead, a pilot who knows how to fly would go up north over Canada and then over Greenland and then go southbound into Paris. This is because when you're up north, the circumference of the Earth tends to shrink. Or I shouldn't just say tends, it does shrink actually. The circumference of the Earth shrinks. And therefore, it takes much less time to get from point A to point B than it does the closer you are to the equator. And that is why traveling at an arc tends to have much quicker travel times than traveling just simply in a straight line. It just takes less time because the Earth is round. So now let's talk about this is perhaps the most obvious reason of how the Earth can be round. We have seen photos of the Earth, okay? We've seen so many photos of the Earth. And we have not seen a single real-life image of a flat Earth model. Every picture you've ever seen of a flat Earth is cartoon-looking. And also, we have seen pictures of other planets. NASA has discovered many objects light years and light years away. And because of that, they can easily, with their equipment, they can easily see other planets in our own solar system that are also round. And why would our Earth be an exception to that? Why would our Earth not be round if all the other 8 planets are round? Yes, Pluto is a planet. That's for another topic. And in order to conclude my speech, more than likely the Earth is round. There has been a controversy floating around the Earth in recent times saying either the Earth is round or the Earth is flat. And the flat earthers were hoping to cure a bunch of ignorance that has been going on allegedly for centuries. Instead, the flat Earth theory has been debunked. Ancient Greece knew that the Earth may have been round. The pilots knew for sure that the Earth is round because they fly based off of it. And there's more scientific evidence to back up a round Earth than there is to back up a flat Earth theory. Thanks for your time.